Awesome. Wow. That's amazing. I don't know why my computer is so dark in the face. Hello? Okay, there we go. I have a ring light now, which is awesome. So now there's not a lot of dark light on my face anymore. Thank you, Dad. I wanted to talk about, because obviously this is like a long time overdue posting of a live stream in that little folder that I created that has one little sad, lonely live stream. I wanted to talk about a thing that I was kind of, humming around in my mind while writing a scholarship essay. So obviously I was very distracted. But it was kind of this like evolution of quarantine. So as most of you know, it's almost been a year since quarantine has completely taken over our lives. I've not been in school. I will not have been in school for one entire year, March 11th. That was the last day I went, which is crazy to me. And it's been a freaking year. Very sad, very sad. So I just kind of wanted to talk about my mental state and how I was, and not mental state, like deep mental state, like literally just like my personality and how it's changed. I apologize for my hair. It's winter and I have frizzy hair, so I try, but it's not gonna unless I have gel, and I don't have gel right now. So we just have to deal with it. It's okay. It's okay. So I think in junior year, I had finally kind of started becoming mentally aware, like awakening of like, okay, this is like real life and stuff. And I started dressing way nicer. A lot of people noticed it, and I'm still trying to fix it. I started dressing way nicer, and a lot of people were noticing it. And they were, talking to me, complimenting me on it, and that felt wonderful. And I felt very good junior year. I was very excited. It was a great year up until March 11th. And I was very silly, quirky, especially during the times that I had the app TikTok. That was definitely something that kind of changed the way I processed and did things. I was very jumpy and I still am. But that's what I want to talk about is the difference. So I was all the time jumpy, always doing stuff, very crazy. And I heavily think it's my surroundings and the people I was with. They weren't necessarily jumpy, but it was the fact that I was with people that kind of changed the way I, was. TikTok was an influence because it just helped me embrace like my inner curiosity and stuff. But then we take a look at now. Half the time I'm only jumpy, and jumpy is not supposed to be like a degrading term. It's more like I was just like always moving. Half the time I'm definitely still like that, but the other half I become serious and very pensive, which means thoughtful. Like I'm very thinking heavily. I'm just constantly analyzing. And while one benefit I've gotten from that is literal enlightenment and maturity, which was awesome. Like I'm very aware now of everything. Jeez, this is not nice. I'm very aware of everything that's been going on and the way I feel about things. And I've also now discovered and tunnel visioned the quirks and things that I liked. So back then, I just did a whole bunch of things for no specific reason. I was no rhyme or reason. I was just doing all these things. Now that 50% of quirkiness, craziness has been tunneled and focused into specific things that I like. So watching Jurassic Park movies, like the entire binge watching, which just means I binge watch all of my favorite movies of Star Wars, Jurassic Park, 1990s, 1980s, 2000s rom coms, cult classics, all that stuff. I've narrowed it down to the movies I like. And then my newfound maturity, I have those movies that I like to watch. This is just my example I use. And then I branch off a little bit. So I watch a movie with Nicolas Cage, and then I'm like, okay, I like Nicolas Cage. I'm going to watch a couple more of his movies. Or I like Cher. I'm going to watch a couple more of her movies. Or Judd Nelson in The Breakfast Club. I liked him, so I'm going to go watch St. Elmo's Fire. Sadly, I have not, but I really want to. So it's kind of like I've taken my quirks. I have tunnel visioned it into like what I like. I know what I like now. And I've now taken my maturity to explore new things and actually be curious about new stuff, and connected it. So I think that is awesome. In that terms, I'm very excited. Um, I'm just overall generally like way happier now that I've kind of figured this all out. Um, Sadly, however, I have lost some of my spirit. I will say I miss being more excited. Does this mean I need to re-download TikTok? Maybe. I thought about it. But I know that I'm a very heavy extroverted person, and being with people, literally just in a room with strangers, and like just being with people, and when I say strangers, I don't mean like random people from all across the world. Like obviously you want to branch out new to find new friendships and stuff, but like just going to school, being in a room with people who like you've seen in the hallways but you don't really interact with. It's just like people there. Um, it's very sad. Quarantine definitely, that's like the one thing that like everybody truly like it hits hard for them because we don't have all these things to, socially interact with. Like prom would have been a great example. Um, just going to a giant dance that's specifically made for you and all of your senior acquaintances, and then also just being treated in a different, enlightened, not enlightened, I'm sorry, like a higher class. But we don't have that, so we have to do it ourselves. So I have to be pensive and think and you know explore new ways of my own self and how I'm going to put myself in the higher class, if that makes sense. It's actually, I mean, it's been a difficult time. Obviously, I just mentioned quarantine sucks, and social interactions are horrible, and that's actually why I'm writing my scholarship essay is on um, social interactions between senior citizens and myself. I'm a pen pal. Um, it's just so important to have these like small little things. So that's where I'm at as of now. Um, I've just been having a blast lately now that I've kind of figured out what I really like and what I want. It's to be honest, I can't even tell you how amazing it is because I've always been struggling like what do I really want to do? What do I and it's not even career, it's more like what do I really want to do now? Do I want to learn the piano? Do I want to, figure out what movie I want to watch? Like I've always been pretty indecisive because I've always been very jumpy. And while I still am so indecisive, the process has just gotten a little bit easier to cope with. Like, I mean, and I've also had the opportunity to now put like 110% into a passion that I have instead of just 80% and then getting bored. Piano is the one thing that I love and I've loved since I was a child. But sadly, I never took piano lessons, so it's always been self taught. So that is heavily reliant on my own passions. And when I have a jumpy personality, not the best, right? So now that I've kind of figured it out, I literally can read music now, which is mind blowing. I've always struggled reading music, and then I literally just put all of my effort into it. I play piano constantly now, and I'm learning songs in a day. I'm reading music so easily now, and it's incredible to finally do that. I mean, I can't even. I'm so excited. um, and I'm not doing like super complicated songs. Like I'm still obviously at like square two, Um, I'm learning like B level songs because you can't just like thrust yourself into like for release. But it's these small steps that I'm taking that I'm putting like full passion into, and it's really exciting. And obviously, like, good job, Caroline, for figuring this all out. At the very year you're gonna leave. That's fun. Um, but I mean, that's like life, and that's what I have. And I can't go back. One of my philosophies is like the past is in the past. Like, don't worry about it. You can't do anything about it. You can learn from it, but you can't do anything about the past. So why worry about it? Um, keep moving forward is another great one for Meet the Robinses. Keep moving forward. Um, because it's all true. You just got to keep going. And yeah. So anyways, that's my update. This is 10 minutes long, but I hope you enjoyed. Kind of an abrupt ending, I know. I'm enlightened. I feel great. And this is more of a humble brag, but it's not even a brag because we all need to feel great about, where we are at one point in our lives. And I feel wonderful. And it's great to acknowledge myself. Some people may not be as fortunate, but you know what? Keep moving forward. You eventually will. For every downhill, there's going to be an uphill. I mean, that's like basic law. Unless you live in no, think about this. If you live in San Francisco and there's always downhills, what do you get when you turn the other direction? Uphills. I'm going to leave you with that.